Why is becoming a voice actor and breaking into the voiceover industry like Harry Potter?
You're a wizard, Harry.
Well, Harry didn't know what he was doing. He got discovered, he got invited to attend Hogwarts, and he had talent. We have talent. We want to be discovered. We want to be invited. And then he went to wizardry school. He wasn't the best student, but he played, he made great friends, he had a fantastic time, and he did great things. We want to do that. We know we have great things to offer. But actually, we are Hermione. And I'll tell you why after we learn the categories of where you can get paid in voiceover. The categories are pretty straightforward, and I learned them when I went to an intro to voiceover course. They were discussed, but there were no examples given, so I just really want to give some examples to listen to, and that will give you 100% clearer idea of what the category involves. Hi, come here. We're doing categories of voiceover. You'd be in the cat category. So I have 8 categories that we're going to chat about quickly, just so you know where you might fit in, and then you can know what to focus on, what to train in, and where you potentially could get paid. And within each one, there's a whole world of possibilities and opportunities to get paid. Category 1 is the love of my life, commercials. These are the make you feel good short script that sells you something we've all seen on TV, radio, and more on social media. A tagline and a brand, and even a call to action like going to their website. So it might be only at McDonald's or only at McDonald's. Visit us at mcdonalds.com. I love a good tagline. I love a good emotive script. Commercial work typically comes through agencies. Yes, you can get work other ways. There's other opportunities, sometimes casting online on pay-to-play sites. You can get a brand as a client, but in general, so don't at me, commercials are cast through agencies. So if you want to work in commercial work, you probably have the long-term goal of getting an agent locally, and then you can work with national ads in your accent. So we should have a listen to some commercials. This is just my favorite thing.
What do you call a crunch wrap with double the seasoned beef, a crunchy taco, and a large drink for just $5? Dunno, but it better be grand or grande. It's the $5 grande crunch wrap meal, only at Taco Bell.
Nothing feels better than having support, and the same goes for your footwear. So you've got to try Skechers Arch Fit. Skechers teamed up with podiatrists and designed footwear with podiatrist-certified arch support. Plus, they're machine washable. Get the arch support you're looking for with Skechers Arch Fit.
For business, for leisure, for love, for life.
What's the purpose of your visit?
What is the purpose of your visit?
To the people who reach into a carton of warm, crispy, golden, perfectly salted McDonald's world-famous fries.
Sit back. Further. 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 And relax. Kia. Movement that inspires.
Those are fun. I know some people don't even want to do commercial. They don't enjoy them. I personally love them so much. Next category. E-learning. E-learning is huge. In general, e-learning is teaching. It's here's why we do this and that. So it could be retail training, it could be medical training, safety, teaching about brand values within a corporation. E-learning and explainer are the longer scripts that are corporate and professional typically. In explainer, you do get to be a little bit more friendly sometimes and just sort of put some personality into it. But in general, they're sort of the more corporate-y type scripts. Here's some examples of e-learning to listen to.
You now have a good understanding of the positive impact innovation and tracking a product or process along an S-curve can have on your business. Let's take a look at another example of what can happen when you simply let change happen and don't proactively look towards the next S-curve.
This is Mike. He just joined the group as a junior business analyst. He's eager to get started, but it's all so overwhelming. So many new faces and so much to learn.
While there are several different types of IT dependencies in an audit, the one that we most frequently encounter is system-generated information.
Welcome to Team Excellence, COVID Edition, the secret to achieving high performance. This course will increase your ability to recognize the different types of communication characteristics of high-performing teams and team members, assess individual strengths in order to ensure the best possible team performance, set goals successfully.
E-learning can be pretty dry and long scripts, but I can imagine it would be pretty good money as well if they have like long modules of learning, like whole classes that they want to use your voice for. You could get paid. So if you have a nice, professional, friendly sounding voice, you could get work in e-learning. Okay, next up is telephony and IVR. And this is really interesting because if you're just starting out, you could go door knocking on businesses near you and potentially get work in IVR. Every business has a telephone. Every business has probably got an after hours answering machine. So we can listen to a couple of examples. The scripts for IVR can be very finicky and kind of piecemeal because sometimes you have to say press 1 or press 2. There's just a lot of different things that they might want you to record, which they will then put together later to a little bit more long form. So if you don't enjoy that, you're not going to enjoy IVR. The on-hold messaging is a little more fun for me anyway, because at least it's a longer script talking about their opening hours or things about the brand or did you know, blah, blah, blah. It's a little message that they put on when someone's waiting on hold. But in general, IVR is thank you for calling. Please press 1 for this. To speak to an operator, press 0. So they're not flowing scripts in telephony. It's not necessarily going to bring you a lot of joy or anything like that. But if you think you have the stomach for it, you have the professionalism for it, then you could potentially make a lot of money in IVR. And like I said, if you go locally, you could potentially make money pretty soon. You can record from home, and if they need to update, they might call you again in 2 years' time because you were their voice before and they just need you to make a little change or update.
Hey there! Thanks for calling Applebee's. All of our team members are helping other customers at the moment, but hang tight and we'll be right with you. Did you know that right now you can get an extra patty on any of our signature Applebee's burgers for only $1.99? Thanks for your patience. We'll be right with you. Thank you for calling T-Mobile. To report a service outage, please press 1.
You've reached Ocean Medical Center and the office of Dr. Ann Hayes. Dr. Hayes and her team are committed to providing their patients with unmatched care and support from diagnosis to treatment. Please hold for the next available support team member. Thanks for calling Whole Foods Customer Service. Let's get started.
This next category, animation, is huge. It's a whole industry. You can imagine there's animation for kids, there's animation for adults. Animation, in my opinion, calls for a very high level of acting and also can call for pretty good comedic timing. So if you have that, you have potential to work in animation for sure. And there's no limit to where animation can go in terms of variety and opportunities because it's characters and there's endless, infinite amount of personalities and characters that could be imagined up by creative people. You don't have to be able to do funny voices to work in animation. A lot of animation these days is getting very realistic as well, which is interesting, and I love that because I'm not particularly good at doing voices. But if you can do voices, yes, there is a lot of potential there for you to get work and make a whole career out of it. You never know, you might get a job where you get to say some of these iconic lines like dope and I don't know, cowabunga.
Boop. You know how I said you're the most special kid in the world?
Yes.
Well, you're not.
Oh, okay. I feel dizzy.
Hey, do me a favor. Settle down back there. I got some live cargo that might get upset at all the fuss.
A pink elephant! I've always wanted a pink elephant! Oh, or how about 2 pink elephants? You think we can wish for 2 things?
They're gone. Both of them. I was too late. I was just too late. I don't have much time left, but they're gonna pay. They're all gonna pay!
Come on, Russ! A giant robot battle royale is about to go down! We are not missing it. Alien robots are stationed in our backyard. We are living the dream.
I love these lazy Saturdays.
It's Wednesday, Homer.
Work! I love these real Saturdays. They're so relaxing. Not like that fake Saturday that almost got me fired.
The scripts in animation can vary from very, very short to very, very long. You could do episodes of an animation. You could do a whole movie. You could play a main character. You could play just someone who gets bumped on the street and all you have to do is make a noise. So yeah, animation scripts vary in length. There's a lot of creative people out there doing animation work. You can find them on Discord and Casting Call Club. The website is castingcall.club. It's fantastic, and I talk about that more in other lessons, but You can get animation projects with just very creative people who are putting themselves out there, and you don't get paid, but you can get experience. Next up, we have the explainer. The explainer is something that brands use alongside a lot of the time an app that they've created. They usually will animate it. If there's something complicated about what they're trying to get you to do, they'll use an explainer video with a friendly voiceover and a pretty long script to make it a little bit more interesting and simplify it for the consumer. I chose this example of real estate. A lot of real estate companies have an app or a website that they need to walk you through a little bit, but they'll do it with an explainer animation. So they'll have like a nice fun colored animation and they'll say, this is how Sally woke up today and found herself a new home. It could also be something like Canva telling you how to use a specific part of their website to create graphic design. So they typically use a pretty friendly voice and they can be kind of long, but if they're a social media ad that is sort of crossover with an explainer, then it might just be 90 seconds or 1 minute.
We'd like to introduce you to Square Register. It's a fully integrated point of sale with hardware, software, and a payments platform all built together in one device. Use the MoneySmart income tax calculator to find out how much tax you should be paying. You can also use it to work out your take-home pay after tax. MoneySmart.
They cast a lot through the pay-to-play websites or the freelancer websites like Upwork, but they're pretty competitive because they're a nice gig to have because you get to be yourself pretty much. Okay, the next category is audiobooks. Audiobooks is something that's pretty obvious to some people. It's sort of the main thing people think of when they think of voiceover. But audiobooks is a hard job. It's long hours reading the same book. You might have to read it several times so that you can deliver it properly. You get paid per finished hour. So if it's a 7-hour audiobook, you get paid for 7 hours, even though it might have taken you 21 hours, as in it typically takes 2 to 3 times as long as the per finished hour length of the book. So when you break that down, the pay might not be that much, but I think people do audiobooks for the love of it more than anything else. The script is obviously something really nice. You get to settle in. You could probably finish the project in a few days if you're focused. If you have a nice studio at home, you can sit and do that. If you're good at it, I think that could be very rewarding. I'm not good at it at all. The scripts are so long. Like I said, it can take 3 times as long as the actual book to record it. I stumble over even one sentence. So if you have the skill for audiobooks, you could probably start making money very quickly.
Breakfast on Mount Olympus. Zeus sits at one end of a long stone table, sipping his nectar and considering the day ahead.
Being silent together. I live in a retreat center in southwest France, where we practice a kind of silence called noble silence. The practice is easy.
The next evening, Grandpa Joe went on with his story. You see, Charlie, he said, not so very long ago, there used to be thousands of people working in Mr. Willy Wonka's factory. Then one day, all of a sudden, Mr. Wonka had to ask every single one of them to leave, to go home, never to come back. But why? Asked Charlie. Because of spies.
You do have to do some character voices in audiobooks, but unlike animation, it's not short and sweet. You also have to do the narrating, and that's the bulk of the job. Put yourself out there online. There's a couple of audiobook audition websites that you can focus on and focus your energy on. So next up is radio. Radio is really fascinating because there's an opportunity right around the corner from you, or there's opportunities nationally as well. There's podcasting as well, which is now a huge industry and only getting more popular. It's the original talking medium, audio medium. There's something called radio imaging, which is branding for the station. So that's when they say, you're listening to such and such FM, or radio such and such, bringing you the hits. Those kind of branding little snippets, and sometimes they're called sweeps, I think, or sweepers. They might put some sound effects, jazz it up. Those are called radio imaging. They're different from commercial. So commercials on radio fall under the category that we first started with, which was commercial. But I think radio is fascinating because you could go knocking on the door, and this is what I did, of your local community station, and you can start getting commercial experience for later down the track actually working in higher end commercials or getting paid. So I currently have 2 ads on the radio right now, and it's an absolute cack hearing yourself when you're in the car.
Finds and have a personal shopping experience with a licensed, knowledgeable dealer. Neroli Antiques are open from 10 till 5 every Friday and Saturday.
And I have 2 others that I've recorded at home that are going to go on soon as well. So yeah, radio is a fantastic opportunity and one that you should not sleep on, I think. It's, like I said, the original place for voiceover. And then last but not least is video games. I am myself about to start a quite expensive video games intro voiceover course. It starts tonight, actually, to see if there's any opportunities for me there, because I really like acting and doing accents. Video games is a little bit more like a character in a stressful situation, maybe a military type situation scenario where they're saying, let's move out. And a lot of grunt work, a lot of physical sounds, but you might get a monologue or two, some backstory, and of course there are different video games for different people. There's adult video games, kids video games, friendly video games, violent video games, serious video games, fun video games, and it's changing all the time. It's a massive industry. There's indie video games, there's branded video games.
And we are rolling.
Taylor, I'm scanning for the package. We got about 1 minute to create the mother of all distractions. Cargo 4019, we have a fuel fire on runway 19.
Sorry, I just need to get my head back in the game and I...
Hey! Nadine Ross! Oh my god. What the hell?
Your head back in the game now?
Oh, smart ass.
The bigger games would typically cast through agencies. The indie games, you could try your luck. They cast through places like Casting Call Club, Discord. You got to put yourself out there. But yeah, video games is an interesting one because it's just so huge. It's basically like a movie industry. Getting back to Harry Potter, Harry was shocked when he was discovered.
I'm a what?
And he became a wizard. But we are Hermione Granger. Hermione, some people say she's annoying.
I read about it in Hogwarts, a history.
That's great, but when did I ask?
But so what? She's also passionate. She chose wizardry. She carved her place. She worked hard. She knew what she wanted to be within the wizardry world. And she didn't rely on just talent alone.
At least no one on the Gryffindor team had to buy their way in. They got in on pure talent.
One final tip we can take from Hermione, and I'm not even that big of a Harry Potter fan. Like, yes, I have the mug, but I don't know why I'm using this analogy, but it fits. She never loses her focus, and we don't want to do that. We can easily get distracted as voiceover artists. Watch this video here to see all the distractions that could derail you.